What happened to the music?
I
Hey!
don't know. It stopped.
Hi everyone.
Weird. Okay, hi.
Hi. Good evening. Good evening. Hi
Good
Lance. Hi
evening.
Nico. Nice
Hey,
to see you guys.
hey,
Hey.
Mikey, hey, Lance.
Aloha.
As you noticed, it is not a Friday. This is not our usual time slot, but we are here.
Yay!
Siyempre, no, because Ben and Jim just premiered. We watched it and
Yeah.
we just wanted to sort of get to talking about it because it is a first episode. There.
Yep.
Diba? Yun naman yung idea natin.
Yes, 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 yes.
Okay.
So,
Medyo may lag. Okay.
all right.
PLDT
Okay,
ba
so,
ulit?
hindi naman. So,
Mm-mm.
medyo confident ako tonight. So, medyo parang
Bakit?
nilaban
Bakit?
ko talaga. Kasi medyo maayos yung connection, so i-push natin tong reaction
Yes.
natin for
Oh,
Ben
imbes
and
na
Jem.
manawagan tayo, magpasalamat tayo.
Magpasalamat
Yes.
tayo. Thank you, PLDT.
Yes, CLDT. Thank you.
Yes, yes,
Oh,
yes.
and also, I also thought na because we are, di ba, Bruha, B Squad,
Yeah.
we were sort of like in a reformatting phase or sort of like we're branching off into
Mm-hmm.
other things apart from BLs.
Right,
Although BLs is sort of like our first mainstay or
right.
your first
Yep.
love. Yeah. This is also a way for us to be able to do something different along with that change of identity. Di ba? Parang
Right.
we don't just focus on going live on Fridays. We may go live on any day of the week as
That's right.
long as there are people available and there is something to review on.
Mm-hmm.
Tama ba?
Yes.
So that's why we're here, even if it's a Thursday. So good
Mga
evening,
random lives
everyone.
natin, no? We can
Correct.
go
Why not?
live randomly. Why not, diba?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely, absolutely.
Right.
Okay.
So ano
So are we
na? So
gonna are we gonna get
this is,
into it?
yeah, no, naman. This is going to be like a reaction video. So no structure whatsoever, but
Yeah.
we'll just like share insights. Sabi nga natin kanina pa, we're gonna just be talking about some delighters, satisfiers, or bummers siguro in the first episode.
Okay, okay, okay.
Dan and Jim, right?
Yes, Ben
Right.
X Jim.
Also, Mikey, this is gonna be every Thursday right now, moving forward.
It
Tama.
is. It is going to be every Thursday at 8 p.m.
Okay.
Oh,
Which
good.
is also well. There's something there now. Because
Mm-hmm.
at the same time, Boys Lockdown airs their episode at the same time, so it's 8 o'clock. So
Oh
people are
my.
gonna have to choose.
Oh.
Diba? People are gonna have to choose which one they're gonna watch first. But
Right.
most likely, for those who are fans of Boys Lockdown, the episodes are gonna be shown on their own platform. So for those who will be watching Boys Lockdown, they will be purchasing a ticket for which is worth I think 50
Every
pesos.
episode, Mikey, tama.
Every episode, yeah, yeah. I think that's the route
Oh.
that they're going. So
Right.
for those who are fans of Boys Lockdown, they will purchase tickets for that, and then they
Mm-hmm.
can just watch the next gym after that episode airs. Or if you
Okay.
are fans of Jerome and TJ first, then you can watch that first, and then you can
Why
watch
not?
the uploaded version of Boys Lockdown 3 days after. So Thursday. So Sunday,
Oh,
Ah.
that's
Sunday yung
okay.
free,
Yeah, that's
Sunday yung
okay.
So, Mikey, we go live on Sunday
Sunday.
again.
Oh my God.
Why not? Diba? Libre naman tayo. Lance and Mikey. I mean, anybody from the group. Diba?
Anybody. Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Mhm.
Perfect. Okay. So, shall we
Okay.
jump into it already? I mean, ano ba yung mga
Yes.
ano ba yung mga delighters, satisfiers, and bummers natin in the first episode, the premiere episode, the pilot episode of Ben and Jim?
Sige. Can I start?
Go
Kasi
ahead.
Go.
I have one particular thing in mind already. Eh. So parang and just a bit of a background here, I
Mhm.
guess. I've never experienced seeing TJ in any particular role.
Right,
Actually,
me too.
I don't think I've ever seen him in any
Mhm.
role. So a delighter for me is in fact see TJ in this episode because I
Yeah.
felt that he was very versatile. He fit the
Yeah.
role really well, and I think
Versatile.
the because of that mirror scene. Because of that mirror
Yeah,
scene.
yeah,
Because
yeah.
he
Ah,
put on different
that.
personas, diba? He put on different personas
True,
Mm.
and he
true.
showed different sides of himself. So that's what made me say that he's very versatile. And also, I like that he appeared very comfortable being an online seller because that is
Yeah.
his persona, that is his character. So he's an online seller. He's basically living alone. His family is in the U.S. And then, background there na pala for Ben X and Gemma. Na he used to have this childhood friend whom he is in sort of in love with a little bit. Um, and who is his ex childhood friend and is now coming back from Davao to stay next door for the ECQ. So there, parang that's a delighter for me basically. It's TJ because I felt that he was really fit for the role. Actually, I mean there were a lot of speculations or I guess assumptions about how he might be able to portray the role, but I felt that he did it really well. And since I wasn't expecting much and I haven't seen him before, it was a delighter for me because I was pleasantly surprised by his performance. Now, also one thing din pala is the soundtrack. I feel na I'm going to love this particular soundtrack in this series because the songs that were used, the instrumentals even, right, the background music, parang it added to the scenes, it added to the feels, diba? And it's very how do you say this? I wouldn't say relatable really, but it's more like it made me appreciate the scene more. So yun. So siguro yun na muna, parang ang dami ko na nasabi. Kayo guys, ano yung sabi?
Tsaka maganda yung pasok ng OST Parang hindi siya awkward.
Yes.
Parang I think Lance will share something about the OST later na share na before we went live. But ako naman, I'll share very, very quickly, no? Delighter and satisfying na lang din. So, I'll have to agree with Mikey. Si TJ Marquez was a big surprise. It's a delighter for me. Because I never expected anything from him, at least from this premiere episode at all. And then I was like, oh, okay. I was convinced. Diba? This character. Another delighter for me, siguro, bigger picture na lang. I like the production entirely. You made mention of OST. Sabi ko nga kay Lance, it's very regal entertainment. Diba? Parang the shots were, to me, they were effective, diba? Yung na-mention mo kanina, Mikey, about this eating alone scene, parang it was effective to me yung how do you call that? Pagdoli ng camera, yung mga panning shots and everything. Parang ang effective for me. So parang production-wise, I really, really like it. So I'm gonna be looking forward to watching the next episodes because of that. Number 2, si TJ Marquez talaga, parang it was a big surprise for me. Effective sabi mga Mikey, no? Ano pa ba? Si Kat Galang, in fairness, parang...
Yes, I love her.
Yeah, but she's more of a satisfier for me. Although, napanood ko na siya sa mga teleserye before. I super like it.
Really?
Kasi Castle Girl, diba? Yung...
Yes, siya yun.
Naging viral siya because of the Castle earrings, correct. And then, I find it very effective and the foundations niya is in theater So, I'm like, okay, girl. You got it. So, ayun. To me, she's a satisfier because I feel like she's gonna bring something here. She's gonna represent women differently, just like Pearl of Game Boys. Probably iba na yung approach niya this time. And I'm looking forward to Kat Galang in the next episodes, which is more of a satisfier. But before anything else, pansin niyo ba, nagsuot talaga ako ng blue na
bananas?
Well, that's one. Kasi kulay siya ng tema ng BBS. Gusto mo yun?
We didn't get the memo.
I'm sorry.
I'm wearing black.
Joke lang.
Mikey, we're the wall.
Actually, I'm fading into the background. Guys, fading into the background.
Kaya ako nagpagitna Charot lang.
Ikaw yung star of the show.
Right. See, Angela saying that Jerome Ponce is a delighter daw sa kanya.
Okay. Well, for me particularly, Jerome Ponce is a satisfier in this episode because we didn't see much of him. So there wasn't a lot of siguro character development at this point.
Right,
so parang he's just there parang at the starting point. So
okay, before we go to Lads, ayan, naghahaya ating mga friends.
Oh, hi, Patty! Hi!
Hey!
Good evening!
Ang ating resident critique, Mark.
Oh, hi, Mark! Hi!
Sumama na kayo dito
Ambush.
Kung napanood na, di ba?
Kung napanood na. Yun yung rule natin. And of course, here,
Oh,
Christian Paul.
Oh, hi Christian.
hi.
Hi!
Uy,
Ibang split na ngayon ng profile picture niya.
Oo!
ang taray ng comment. Ang taray ng comment. We're
Ah,
good. Thank you very much for asking,
Yes.
thank you
Christian.
so much.
Thank you.
Naloka naman ako sa Buha B-Squad lang ang malakas. Hala.
Ulo?
Pero salamat ha. Salamat.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
Yan, si
Ayan,
Lance.
Lance.
Yeah, let me
Nasasabi mo.
start off with si Kat Galang kasi for me, she's a delighter kasi she's going into not just as the supporting role na sobrang supporting.
Right.
Na she was bonita in Kada ng Ginto and she was just like a
Yun.
best friend in the shadow.
Okay.
And now she's the legit best friend na you'll see like Pearl or like the other
Yeah.
women in the BL series. So,
Mhm.
kaya siya naging delighted for me, especially knowing that she came from the theater background, knowing she's this versatile also. Kaya I'm
Mhm.
happy that she has this big role na rin. Finally,
Me
in
too.
her wheelhouse, kumbaga. And
Yeah.
another delighter you said about production, you could see it's sobrang regal, sobrang well thought out. Especially with the musical scoring nila. I mean, maganda yung pasok ng mga kanta. It's not, you won't hear the same melody over and over again.
Yeah.
Napatamaan pa tayo. Okay.
And yun nga, with the music, I was telling Nico a while ago that I like that transition of the music. The title of the song is Stars Align by Travis Atreo. And you'd see the stars also in the layout, in the constellations,
Mm.
in the childhood book as well, in the stickers na pang 90s. It's all there. You'd
Well
see the
thought
star
out
references.
eh.
Well thought
Listen
out.
to that. Diba?
And delighted siya sa akin in a way because I mean, with the production flow niya, it's like it's a balance of, I was telling you a while ago, it's a good balance of what Game Boys has and what Gaya sa pelikula has in some
Right.
way. And telling a story. Kasi Gaya, Game Boys, ang advantage nila, they were telling a story fast, wherein, ang example ko kay Nico was, Wesley, when he came in, you knew he was a Harry Potter fan.
Yep.
Mm.
With Gaya sa pelikula, their flow naman is slow. In that tempo, you could see the same build, like yung the scene you're talking about with the food na kumakain mag-isa. Those are parang references to what guys sa pelikula. That's the flow of the guys sa pelikula. So you'd see both in yung Jim and Ben.
Yep.
Mm.
I
So
think
you
those are
mentioned
the few delighters for me.
Right. Another thing that I liked was the opening scene, the opening sequence. I think they call it a billboard or something. I don't know, but the opening sequence basically because they made it a little bit different by using watercolor filters.
Yeah.
Or some sort of like artistic kind of thing.
Very
No?
nice.
And then there were the use of graphics, the use of imagery. But one thing that I'm wondering though, because of the constellations is, and I mentioned this to a friend kanina, parang why is it constellations? Parang
Yes.
there are no indications
Yun ang
that
tanong ko
they
rin.
are into astronomy. There are no indications at the moment that they are into horoscopes. And there's no indication that they are star-crossed lovers because they were childhood friends. And as far as we can tell right now, parang it's a one-sided love kind of thing with TJ parang being interested in Jim, but Jim not necessarily reciprocating at the moment, diba? So parang iniisip ko yun, parang are they star-crossed lovers? Or are they into astronomy? Are they into horoscopes? So hopefully, well, or maybe not hopefully, but maybe it'll be revealed in the next episodes. But at this point, parang it's a question mark in my head. Why astronomy? Why horoscope? Why stars, right? And then the song is Stars Align pa, diba? So
actually, yung sabi ko rin kay Nico na it lacked that kind of build pa rin. Although kasi what I was talking about the story build was how they told the story ng background ng mother ni Jim. Na they didn't just tell na his mom died, they showed it kumbaga. They showed na there was an urn, Ben came there during a funeral, parang ganon. But with the stars aligned, with the stars thing, parang the only thing I was missing is how they built like what they did with Wesley. Na when he came in, you knew he breathed Harry Potter. With this, parang I didn't see any. I only saw the star elements in the OST, that sticker, the telescope, but it's not breathing from them, kumbaga, or it's not part of the being of Jim or Ben or Jim. We don't see that.
Although there was an indication about stars in the slum book, right? Parang there was a line there talking about that. Pero yun nga parang it's just mentioned and not necessarily parang integral to the scene, to the role, to the series. Ayan. Oh, by the way, another thing that delighted me is yung oh wait, sige, sabihin natin yung sinulat ni Anne. Siya, parang kahit ano lang gawin niya, the lighter for me.
Si
Are
Jerome
we talking
Ponce
about
ba
TJ?
to?
Or
Oo, si
Si
Jerome
Jerome.
Jerome.
Ponce?
Jerome.
Feeling ko si Jerome yan.
Well, I
Si Jerome.
mean, same. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see later on. So another thing that I wanted to mention was, and this is referring to TJ's character once more. Is there were a couple of lines I think there that were really strong or maybe
Mhm.
good for me. Kasi when the mom called and the mom said, hey, pumunta ka na dito, wala ka naman nagagawa dyan or something like that.
Mhm.
And then parang dito may good life, di ba? And he was very clear. He said, well, ma, what about a happy life? Right? So I don't want to leave and go to the States just to get a good life because what is more important for me is to be a happy person, di ba? So parang doon,
Yes.
parang it gave me an idea that he's the type of person who goes after what he wants, who will
Mhm.
stick to his
Mhm.
principles. I mean, who knows what he wants basically, and will do what is necessary for him to be able to achieve that. And that is why even alone, he's doing the selling. He's well, yeah, basically fending for himself, di ba? Parang supporting himself, di ba? Also, there was one at the very, very, very beginning. It was said, kung may pagkakataon ka bang kang magmahal ng malaya, pero marami kang masasaktan,
Yeah,
susuko
Oo,
ka ba?
yun.
gusto ko
So
yun.
it's basically in English for our international audience. Well, if you have an
Wow.
opportunity, if you have an opportunity to love freely, but you but in doing so will hurt a lot of people, will you still take the leap? And his
Yeah.
answer was yes. Diba? So I was like, girl. Like,
Pero,
yes, go after what you want, diba? Parang anyway, that's how you're supposed to do it, diba? Parang when you
Right.
love, you have to love freely and you have to do it with your whole heart. So I think that he's that kind of person. So I'm really interested to know how that develops or how that is demonstrated in the next episodes. Yes,
yeah.
that's
Yeah, parang kasi the thing about that was I like the statement, pero in every episode I was looking for a full circle or a reference to that
mm,
statement at the end na would
yeah.
they throw it back at
To
the end, pero there was none eh.
reconcile.
To
Mhm.
Mm,
reconcile or to tease man lang there's a struggle
Yeah.
between that. So I think
Yeah.
that's the hook I was looking for, Nico, and I was talking to you about that. Parang there was
Yeah.
mm,
no tying it towards the end.
mm. Baka ano no, baka protracted, baka sila na
Yeah.
kami episodes no.
Siguro. But I don't, are we getting into bombers na? Hindi naman siguro bombers, pero more like questions siguro in our head about
Mm,
the
mm,
episode. Parang ayoko naman
Mm.
magsabi na parang ayoko kasi baka mabash tayo. Mabash! Charot lang. I'm just saying that it's just these are just questions in my head about the episode
uh,
when I was watching, no. Parang ano ba yung first one I forgot? Parang di ba kayo muna, sige go. Nawala sa isip ko bigla.
Well, me too. It's really more of a question than anything else, because his online selling name, or I don't know what you call it, but SSS, no, parang struggling student seller.
Seller.
But even though he's a struggling student, he's able to sell an electronic bike worth 18,000 pesos. So I don't know if that's normal for a struggling seller, but that appears to me to be a very expensive item. So if he was able to
Yeah.
purchase it, then
No. Diba?
right. So I'm
may
not
capital siya.
my
Right.
capital shop, right? So basically, he has a
Mm.
lot of money to, to buy the products and resell them. So, but it's really just more of a question because I don't know because I'm not an online seller, so I don't really know like what would be the price range to be considered as a, sort of like a struggling online seller, right? Another sort of like question mark in my head is, well, not really a question mark, but more of an observation. Um, is that when they showed the preview for the next episode, I felt that it revealed the entire episode already. So I was
Yes.
like,
Yes.
they could have
Yes.
held back a little bit so that we would have
Song.
more of what's gonna happen, right? But
Look
now I
forward.
know what's gonna happen. It's like more of how is it gonna pan out or how is
Yeah.
it gonna continue, right? So yun, parang just maybe listen that a little bit. So like somebody I talked to earlier, parang, edi, parang wala na ako masyadong gana. Parang something like that. Parang
Alam
nabawasan.
mo.
Parang excitement lessened because basically everything that could happen in the second episode was already revealed. So that's one other thing that I thought, hey, maybe they could change that a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll write to that because I think that's the same reason I felt when I was watching episode one. Because the scenes you've seen in episode one were all in the trailer that
Trailer.
appeared before. So
Yes.
parang I've seen this already happen. I've seen kumbaga you summarized it already for me in the trailer. All the integral parts. So why would I watch episode one? Kumbaga ganon. And sabi ko kay Nico a while ago na episode 2 felt more like my hook. Because I was curious how it would pan out in the story. If they left it at the part na, if I were the writer, and if they left it at the part where Jimson was asking
Leo.
Ben about Leo, Oliver, and all those persons, as we keep it there, that would be a hook.
Yes.
That would be your hook.
Right. Actually, if they had just stopped it there, I would be like, man, how is he gonna respond to that, right? But then they showed the next scene, which was next morning, and then, oy, aga-aga pinagpapantasyo mo na ako. So parang, okay.
Alam mo na.
Okay, that's how he responded to that anyway, right? Or they could have just ended with that scene, the names, and then with Leo parang showing up, right? And parang, oh, what are you doing here, right? And then stopped it there, and that would have been like, bam. Okay, so I have two things to look forward to, right? So
I know.
Yeah.
Sayang lang. Kasi parang you've seen. Kasi if the flow with me pa naman, if you see the trailer, and if they're gonna be following the same flow as the trailer to the abangan ng episode 2, parang okay, I didn't know the plot. I know what's gonna happen already. Why would I still watch it?
Right.
And I guess I felt a little bit less kilig when Jimson showed up at the window because we already saw that in the trailer, right? So it wasn't a surprise anymore. So in fact, I was waiting for Jimson to actually specifically do.
Me too.
Right?
Me too.
So, you know it's gonna happen. You're just waiting for it to happen already, as opposed to not knowing what will happen, and then when it happens, you feel you're more spontaneous about it. Anyway, yeah, it would have been nice. Oh, by the way, another thing that is a satisfier for me, but could be like the satisfier A. This is the satisfier B. Is the delivery guy?
Shit!
Yeah. I mean, he was funny. He was funny. And, alam mo yun, parang,
effective din siya.
Actually,
in fairness sa kanya.
Rider or driver talaga siya eh. Parang holo.
Hindi, driver talaga, delivery talaga siya. Kasi di ba, remember, he does Bro's Kitchen. So he delivers to customers. Ron Martin Angeles really delivers to people.
Diba?
I also like the name. It's very humorous or I don't know, very like delivery lover.
Yes.
Diba? What do you mean?
I know.
Liver lover. Ano ba yun yung gamot?
Yeah.
So delivery liver aid or something like that. So liver lover. This is delivery lover.
It's also a play on then with the jeepney. Are you sweet lovers? Mga ganun daw.
Effective.
So yeah, I like that character. I think there's gonna be something between him and TJ.
So
I'm thinking that maybe TJ will sort of like get a little more comfortable with him and acquainted with him, just in case something happens to Jimson that he doesn't like or something. Because he's always there. He's always the one to bring in the area.
Pero good that you mentioned that. But what I also like about the episode is si Ben was declaring enough of his character, like compared to the other BLs, like non-Pinoy BLs na lang. Okay, parang I feel like no shade at all, but what I'm saying is, diba, parang he was just facts, right? But he was just like skimming through the Instagram of Jimson, diba? He was also checking on the rider or the driver. So parang he was declaring of his character that, hey, I'm openly gay. And what's so wrong about that? So may ganun siyang self-determination sa sarili niya. So I think it's a delighter for me. More like a delighter, not a satisfier rather. So ayun.
Delighter.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, go. Continue.
Ayun, so yung pag-characterize niya, pag-establish ang character niya, to me was really a delighter because parang they were not holding back with the character. Siguro like for me, in terms of questions, I was like sharing this with Lance a while ago, and there's nothing wrong about this, but just because it's called BL doesn't necessarily have to follow the same Thai BL formula. But I
Mm-hmm.
felt like they followed the same equation. They have the sort of teaser towards the end, and it felt like the mirror scene. Parang to me, parang kailangan ba
Montage.
talaga siya? I'm not saying it's bad.
Uh-uh.
Medyo effective naman siya sa akin, but it
Mm-mm.
reminded me of Love by Chance. Who's this character? Si Cantaloupe ba yun, Mikey? Or Lance? Diba yung
Who
parang
keeps talking to himself.
yeah, he's like talking aloud to himself, even in his room, and it's kind of annoying to me. But I'm kind of like wanting
Mm.
to like get away with that already, or
Mm.
get away from that already. Kasi parang masyado nang saturated with such style or scene. Parang I
Mm.
want something different. So parang ako na siguro. I guess they will follow the same kind of formula or equation in the next episodes, but I was kind of hoping of something different from the episode or the entire series probably na hindi lang susunod dun sa equation ng Thai BL. But it was so
Mm.
reminiscent of Thai BL in terms of the formula. Secondly, there was like this scene, I shared this with Lance also. I don't know, probably I just got lost along the way when he was reading. Parang, di ba, the girl, si Kat Galang, what's her name doon? Si best friend.
I forgot.
Yeah. So,
Anyway.
para she was asking like ano man naman parang magpakita ka naman ng evidence mo or show some proof whatever ganyan. And
Right.
then parang then showed this parang album or something, 'di ba? And
Right.
then ano ko hindi naman niya kamukha yan. It doesn't look like him. It's probably a different person. Chisera ko whatever. And then parang no, may memo dito and
Yes, Nico.
Chiki.
You're
Nico,
you paused.
yeah.
Oh, but anyways, while we're waiting for
While
Nico,
we're waiting,
Mark
yeah,
Mark said, "I love the tier levels in Mikey Satisfiers." Well, Mark, I got it from you.
yeah, we learned it from
Satisfier
you.
A, B.
B.
Right. And Harry, no, he's asking, live nyo ba pinanood ang Ben X Gym dito? No, we
sorry,
watched it
nawala
on our
ako.
own and then we went live just now to talk about it. Yeah.
Yes.
Nika,
Yes, I'm back. I'm sorry.
Yes.
continue, continue.
Okay,
Yeah.
so asa na ba ako? Yun nga, I was kind of like lost dun sa part na yun. So it was kind of a gap, a tiny gap for me. I don't know, probably it could be like a plot device, probably plot device in the coming or the next episodes. I don't know. So parang I would have wanted sana na napakita kung bakit ganon. Why the dismayed reaction from Ben? 'Di ba? I don't know, kayo ba? Parang
Are you talking about the scene where he was looking at his phone and then you wanted to show it to Kat, but then there was nothing there? Is that it? Oh, nawala na naman si Nico.
Yeah, I think that does the show. Yung when I was talking to Flo, her character name is Flo.
Flo, okay. Was that what you were mentioning, Nico?
yes.
Okay. Yeah, I kind of wondered about that as well because I mean he was supposed to show that. I thought he was going to show the text message from Jimson, right? Because Jimson texted him, but then he
Right.
didn't do that. So I was like, what happened there? So it was just, but for me, the montage for me was okay. It was actually good. I enjoyed that scene very much because, like I mentioned earlier, it showed his versatility, and I kind of like do that sometimes, especially when I'm gonna do a presentation. Like I look at myself in the mirror and I practice a little bit just to see what my gestures are like. Just to check if I am moving the way that I want to appear,
Right.
or if I'm moving the way that I want to move. Yeah, yung mga ganun bagay, right? But I also like what you mentioned, right? You mentioned that he was very self-determined. Oh, hi, Kupono, mahalo.
Mahalo.
Hey,
Aloha,
Hello.
mahalo.
kapalo.
It's okay. I mean, you're here. That's all that matters. So, hi. If you have any comments about the episode, let us know and put it there. So, when he was asked, when Jim asked Ben, and this. Oh shoot! No, this is for the preview. But I guess it's
That's
all part of the
why.
package. I guess it's
That's
all part of the
why.
package. I guess it's all part of the package, right? That, but I guess it adds to the character of Ben, right? That when Jim asked him, "Who have you brought here already?" and he was not apologetic whatsoever. He didn't try to hide it. He just
Yes.
started giving names, and then eventually, oh, those are all men. And then
Yeah.
oh, well, that's who I am. So that's basically what he was saying to to Jim said, right? So there, I like that part, and I'm interested in to see how that pans out as well, right?
Yeah, kaya
Um,
ako, that's why I was confused then eh. Kasi you had that mirror scene, then you had that next scene where he's just unapologetic. So
yeah. Ah,
parang
there's a
I
sort of a
didn't see
disconnect for
there's
you.
a disconnect. There's a disconnect to me. Kasi
Yeah,
parang if he was
Mm.
that character, why would he rehearse different acting or different skills or different ways
that's
of
true.
saying something?
But if you think about it, it might be because since they haven't seen each other in a while, I don't know how long it has been, but apparently Jim moved to Davao with his father when he was still very young.
When the mother
So,
died.
right. And I think that's also indicated by the photograph wherein the best friend
Mm.
said, "Oh, he doesn't even look like that." So maybe that was so long ago that his look changed already, But I'm thinking that I lost my train of thought. What was I saying? Oh, maybe because he sort of like wanted to sort of feel his way about how he would present himself. But
Yeah, possibly.
when that conversation came, maybe he just decided, no, I'm just gonna be myself or whatever. Yeah, so
Yeah,
I mean,
maybe.
that could be a possibility. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Ayun.
let's watch. Yeah, and the writer, by the way, is Juvie Galamiton.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So she's part of the writing crew for The Ghost Bride, Us Again, and Hospicio. Tapos,
Oh,
What's that?
yes.
I don't know that.
yeah.
Once a horror story by with Kim
Right.
Chu. Us Again is the
Ah.
one with Main
Uh,
Mendoza and Bagat Singh.
interesting.
Tapos, she's
Mm.
part of the creative story consultant of that thing called Tadhana. So I have higher expectations now.
Ah.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yes, 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 yes. Oh, speaking of which, I also oh my god, wanted to comment on. So this is it's a little bit of a bummer, but the I mentioned to you guys earlier, parang there were some scenes wherein the shot became a little bit grainy
Yeah.
Yeah.
because the camera was
Dark even.
towards the light and then
Yeah.
it had to refocus itself. So I guess it's because maybe the camera quality, maybe it was a phone, I don't know, or maybe because of the lighting per se inside the room or the condo or the house. Because when Flo came in, diba, parang
Right.
she was framed by light, so the camera adjusted. But then when she went in, then the camera adjusted again, and there was a little bit of a
Mm-hmm.
grainy part. And a
Mm-hmm.
lot of the indoor scenes were a little bit dark for me as well. So I'm hoping
Mm-hmm.
that it's going to be rectified. I don't know whether by color grading or by
Color
post
grading
prod,
siguro. Yeah.
right? So it's
Yeah.
going to be a little brighter, I guess. Yeah. So that's it from
For
that's.
medyo nagbago siya ng konti eh. Like when he was waiting for this for the driver eh. It was like brightly lit, and then
Yeah, outside.
when he had this interaction with the housekeeper, it sort of darkened a little bit. So parang sa color grading siguro, parang in terms of
Mhm.
consistency, parang bakit ganun? At least ako
Uh,
napansin ko siguro siya. Probably,
right.
yun.
And I
Yun.
was thinking at that point, maybe it was cloudy. That's why it was a little more subdued, the
Right.
lighting. But when they were
Mm-hmm.
showing the house and him standing outside the house, then it was more sunny. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's what I was
kailangan mo
thinking.
talaga weather dyan. Kasi let's say you're shooting the video right now and then suddenly outside it's cloudy, then it suddenly
Mm-hmm.
sun shines.
Yeah,
So I think
yeah.
that's
Yeah,
the best take they could during that time.
True.
Especially
True.
with this
right.
weather, it keeps on changing. So
Right.
Very true. Yeah.
and my fear only is because their theme towards the stars. I hope they do better night shots. Lalo
Yes,
na
Mm,
it's gonna
absolutely.
be stars.
Right,
And I
right,
hope,
right, right, right.
actually.
'di ba?
Yeah.
I
Remember that?
mean, sana. Sana lang.
Remember that scene where he was fixing something because
Mhm.
he was waiting for Jimson to return. I don't know if
uh,
that's sort of like a tree house or maybe that's sort of like a platform. Maybe that's where they drink, or maybe there will be a telescope there somewhere. I don't know, but
feeling ko, yeah, I
I'm
think that
just
was a
wondering
tree
about
house where they watch the stars. Kasi there's a photo of
that.
them where they were stargazing through a telescope. Or parang
Mm,
ganun.
okay, all right, cool. So yun. What else? Well,
Yeah,
I think it's really given us a clear backgrounder of TJ, di ba? Kasi number one, his situation with the family. So his situation with an ex, who is apparently in the messages, mine, 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 di ba? And then the eventual parang conversation that will happen probably in episode 2. So yun, parang in a way medyo na flesh out nila si TJ. So we get an idea of what he is like. Yeah. And that's what I like about this episode. Hopefully in the next episode, si James na naman yung maging focus.
Yeah.
And I think I asked one during the Tito Talks ni Gus about TJ kasi that came in during one of the discussions. And one of them was from Indonesia. And TJ kasi was acting in one of the Indonesian shows before. So ang sabi niya, it's like, if she described, the way I picked it up was TJ's role is like one of the teeny bopper roles na ginagawa with ABS-CBN. So ganong caliber or ganong ka-commercial ang ginagawa ni TJ.
Right.
Oh, wow.
In Indonesia.
That's cool.
Pero nung that scene while he was doing online selling, ang effective niya dun ha.
Oh yes, he's like a reseller.
Right. Right.
Sanay siya sa television when it comes to commercial solving.
Right.
He's commercial
doing that. Absolutely. Yeah. And also like the turn of food when he saw Leo comment.
Yeah.
Yung pagbagsak ng mukha niya. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Convinced ako sa character na. Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So siguro parang like bigger question na lang for us. Are we watching the next episode?
Oh yes, definitely. Yeah. We are watching the next episode.
With the Abangan Hope, yes, I will watch it.
Meron siyang qualification. Explain mo yung pag-qualify mo ng sagot na yan.
Yes, qualify that.
Yeah, kasi if I were going to be watching lang without that hook, yung sa Abangan that part na yun, if I didn't see that, I might not even watch the next episode.
Right.
Kasi it lacked, was telling a while ago, it lacked the connection from the first question he posed na, will you take a risk for love?
Yep.
It didn't resonate to the end. Pero I think with that, yung Abangan part, it resonated to the end for me already.
Yeah.
That's why I'm going to be watching it because of that. But if it wasn't there, I won't watch it.
Okay. Ano, last lines ni ni Ben, when, ano ba to? Basta yung last lines na parang, ba't puro lalaki I forgot. Yung parang sa bakuran sila. And parang he uttered like a line there na parang to me, it was kind of like powerful at least. It kind of like flesh out his character more. Na parang, I don't know if it was like gender equality or something. Parang may ganon.
2020 na.
Ayun.
2020 na.
Tapos may sinabi siya, 2020 na something ganon. I'm like, okay.
I don't remember exactly what he said, but
okay.
For those who are watching, if you remember what he said, put it in the comments.
Yes.
Right. But I feel that it's gonna be good. And there is one sort of like BL trope, I guess, that featured in this episode.
Yeah.
Enemies first. Although it's a little bit different because they were childhood friends before.
That's the trope.
But then when they meet, the preview shows us that they sort of get into this sort of like enemy type of situation.
Okay. Yeah, because I think that the line was in English. Parang it's 2020. It's already 2020. Why can't you be politically correct?
Ayun.
Yes, that
part.
And ang batuhan na yun came from the scene he was saying. So I'm looking at it again. Na his video does becoming viral with the gays.
Right.
Or with the mga bading, kumbaga.
Right. So I don't know how that will pan out, but we'll see. I'm excited. I mean, I want to see what happens next, and I'm a big fan of Jerome. I'm very vocal. I'm very vocal about that. I mean, ever since the Good Son, when I first saw him, always been a fan of Jerome. I tag him in my tweets. I hope he notices. So,
I'll be very honest. I'm not really that excited, but I'm more curious about the next episode.
Ako din. I'm curious how the story will pan out, actually.
Yeah. Diba? So,
and I'm still looking for the stars.
Ano between na yun?
Well, maybe we can rewrite the stars,
What?
Let's align all of them for them. Hi.
Sana.
Yeah. I'm hoping that if, for example, there are BL tropes that they sort of like, just like what other BLs have done, or one in particular, I hope they blow it out of the water. I hope that they are able to come through with really good characters. So far, from what we've seen, mukhang okay naman, no? So medyo, I think yung pinaka questionable pa right now is Jimson's initial character, right? With the comments that he made, in the previous that we saw and the ending, diba? So it's sort of like a very stereotypical, like parang, ay, yung bakla,
Yeah.
etc. Parang pag
Pero,
nakakita ng lalaki, pinagnanasaan, pinapasapasa yung mga video, alam mo yun, parang, okay. Yeah, so hopefully that's sort of like something that's addressed or maybe
Yeah.
even
yeah.
in
Yeah, I'm
the
curious
coming episodes.
if it's gonna be addressed in the next episode. Pero as I was telling Nico a while ago, parang I think the question I asked after when I told him that was, would you prefer to watch a series that goes with the flow or the pattern of a BL, yung Thai BL
Mm.
pattern tropes, or would you go
Uh-huh.
with some
Yes.
that breaks it apart?
Ayan, good question.
That's a good question. I would rather go with something that breaks it apart because I
Okay.
mean, currently we have so many series that are um, exhibiting these very toxic BL tropes, right?
Yes.
So I mean, it's very refreshing for me to have new series like Game Boys and like this one, like Guys Pelicula, who are blowing that out of the water. Like, parang hindi stereotypical. Because, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, if we stereotype people based on a formula or based on a format just because it sells, well, that's not reality, di ba? Kasi parang even
Yeah.
ourselves, we can't put ourselves in boxes. And well, it's time to really tell the story as it should be, and not because there is a format that needs to be followed.
Right.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yun. So yun. And I'm seeing a lot of possibilities for this. I mean, I don't know how it goes,
Yeah,
right?
me
Because
too. Me
there's the
too.
family, there's the family in the States for Ben, right?
Mhm.
So they could feature heavily as well, parang pressuring him to come to the US, etc. They might even come back, one of them, di ba? And then parang pressure him to leave with them, etc. And then there's also Jimson, whose dad is apparently a politician. So therefore, there's that angle wherein, okay, if you're a politician's son, you have to be a good son. You have to be straight, or you have to be like unblemished. Ganang bagay, di ba?
Yeah.
Mga traditional patriarchal archetypes.
Yeah.
So there's that, right? And there's there's the guy, there's the delivery boy, right?
Yes. There's still one
So
more.
you don't know what's
There's
gonna
also
happen.
there's
And then
also
there's
one
Leo.
more.
Meron
Yeah,
pa
there's
There's
ba?
another
another
one.
one. There's another one that hasn't appeared yet in the episodes. She's
Right.
being played by Sarah Edwards. She's the girl shown in the trailer
Right. Which
Ah,
could be
okay.
for
for
Jimson,
Jimson.
right? Right.
Kajinsan.
And then he's a car enthusiast. So I don't know. Is there going to be some sort of like car related,
Drag
like
race.
storyline, drag race?
Drag race talaga, Tol.
Medyo iba yata
Drag
yun.
race.
Medyo iba
Sarap
yata yun.
yan.
True. Yeah, that's very true, though. Very true. Very true. Yeah, you're correct. I mean, well, wait. I mean, I wrote down the characters. I mean, the actors. So Ron Martin Angeles. Who is he?
Is the delivery
The
boy.
delivery boy. Okay. Christina Simon.
Who's Christina Simon?
Ayun.
Wait.
So we don't know yet. And then
Let me
there's
Google
Sarah
that.
Edwards. There's Kat Galang, and then there's Johannes Rizzler, who is the Leo guy. So, anyways, yun. So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting to know
Christina
the guy.
Simon is Nanay Elma.
Oh,
Okay,
she's
okay.
the next Jimson's.
The
Wait, pero
housekeeper.
to Lance's
Keeper, yeah.
question, no, parang, ano naman, parang I want to see something different like the likes of Game Boys. Parang it made use of screen life
Which is
as a genre,
Mm.
diba? And then you have guys sa pelikula, it's cinematic, but it's delivering something different. Yung sinasabi natin diba?
Yeah.
Pero ito kasi, parang it's sort of like follow the same formula or equation as that, the same as, any Thai BL I'm just
Yeah.
hoping that they will present something different. They may follow the same formula or equation. I'm more curious about what they can deliver with a Filipino flavor, I guess. Parang,
Yeah.
I don't want to. I want them to lose the typical tropes. Now I hope the girlfriend of Jimson will not be as toxic as the girls in like Thai BLs or diba. But I have
Or My
like
Day.
or yes, okay.
Sorry, she's so fresh sa utak ko kasi I did research yesterday. Kasi they were
Okay.
naming her sa Tito Talks who the hell was, kasi we were debating on who was the
Is this
best
Moira?
kontrabida.
Is this Moira?
Moira.
Moira,
Kasi
yeah.
we were debating on kontrabidas. So Learn Playing was one of them. Pero they were saying
Okay.
there's someone even worse, which is Moira
Oh my
now.
God, seriously? Oh,
Kasi
well,
Learn
well, well,
Playing,
well.
at least, sabi nila, Learn Playing, if you look at kontrabida analogies, she had a
Uh-huh.
very big reason, established reason why.
Yeah. But
Moira
Moira,
didn't. It's just
ah,
character.
okay, but I don't know, you revere playing more than Moira.
Yes, kasi she had a reason why she was doing it. She was a better
May
ex,
motivation
kumbaga.
siya.
May motivation siya. And Moira was just a character na she's really like that. One-dimensional.
Moira, yeah.
But I know. I want to ask a question to you guys though.
Yeah.
So, but is it necessary to get rid of these BL tropes? Meaning, are we not supposed to see toxic women in these BLs? What do you
Sa
think?
akin, if they play well in the story, if they're established very well in the story, it would be good to see them, but it would be nice to see another dimension of them.
Exactly.
Like for example, I think one example would be my Extraordinary. The girl is Sandy. They play with the
Yeah.
BL trope. Na the best friend falls in love with her best friend,
Right.
umaasa,
Yeah.
and she's asking for unrequited love.
Yeah.
And she could turn out to be toxic. Pero at the same time, you see her backstory. So you don't know kung kanino kakampi. Kasi you're parang naawa kay Sandy, naawa ka dun kay best friend. So that kind of trope. It's not just one-dimensional na, look, you're the plain villain, like Moira.
Right,
And I'm
right.
hoping the role ni Sarah Edwards won't be like Moira, but more like towards Sandy, where you get to see the personality of the girl.
Okay. Yun. Parang I have to agree with Lance. Parang we don't really have to stay. I mean, we don't have to lose these tropes, because they make it the BL. They give us the BL quality. Or they present something different, like a different personality, a different angle even. Now, speaking of angle pala, yung pala yung sinabi ko kanina, he was checking his phone and like checking the message from Jimson when he was about to show it to Flo. And then I got sort of annoyed
and he's gone. Oh no.
Walang make sense He's gone. Parang ganun. But I was kind of hoping for a twist there na parang meron siyang mental something na parang memory loss issues or condition. Anyway, wala na yun. So, parang ganun. So, Regal Entertainment, never mind. Joke lang.
But maybe I'll watch it again because I might have missed something, or maybe I wasn't able to catch some of the things that you said. So we'll see. We'll catch that. But yeah, definitely, diba? Kasi the thing is, but there are people who are really toxic in real life, right? And maybe it's just that additional dimension to them. Like, why are they like that, right? Or maybe is there an explanation for it? Not necessarily a justification, but an explanation for it. Or if, for example, they are very toxic and that they act in a criminal way, then there should be some comeuppance in the end, right? That they should be accountable.
Oh, yes.
Accountability is key, yes.
Hindi rin nangyari yun sa My Day. I went through the whole 10 episodes.
Oh my God.
Oh, wait, aren't they ending soon?
I don't know, maybe.
They have to. Joke lang.
Oh, guys.
Pero props pa din sa production nila.
Of the host do not reflect the views and opinions of Hello Stranger, of Game Boys.
Yeah.
Baka ma-block tayo. Tanggalan tayo ng channel ng YouTube.
Mas-strike tayo dito.
But it's a reaction video anyway. This is an opinion.
Yeah.
Right. And of course, our views and our opinions and our reactions may be different from yours. I mean, we're all different. So all we have is our own perspectives, and hopefully we come to an understanding. And sometimes we may agree to disagree on certain things because, of course, we're looking at it from different points of view.
True.
Yeah.
My question si Mark talaga. Sabi niya, are those bananas? Mark, yes, because it's Jerome Ponce. Charot na.
Oh, yes.
Yun talaga sagot ko. Yes, Mark, because it's Jerome Ponce. Period.
Yun.
Okay, question guys. Jerome or TJ?
Jerome.
Not even hesitant.
Mark,
Sige,
Mark, since be
magte-thank you na
careful
nga
with
lang
my
ako.
heart pa, Jerome na ako.
Grabe.
Oh,
Talaga. Actually,
Parang, that's the
yeah.
first time I saw him talaga na parang, oh, interesting character.
Yeah.
yeah, diba? And I really, oh, by the way, speaking of which, and he's also not new to the sort of like gay character or the LGBT
Yeah.
character because he's portrayed gay roles before. So that's why I feel that he's gonna be very comfortable in
Uh,
his skin in this one.
Just,
Oh, and
just
I
good.
also, yeah, which is good. So he's very familiar, first time diba? And I also was able to watch an interview with him and the other cast members and the director,
Mhm.
and they were asked, "Did you watch any BL series in preparation for this role?" And
Mhm.
then TJ said yes. Then Jerome said something like, no, actually. Kasi parang ang ginawa ko na lang, or what I did was basically to get to know TJ because I wanted to get comfortable with him and I wanted to know what he liked. I wanted to get to know him on a personal level. And I'm like,
ah.
Very nice, ah.
that actually makes
Yeah.
sense. Because when
Yeah.
you're watching a BL, because a lot of people say they watch BLs and then they see how the character moves, how they behave, what happens. But then when Jerome said that, I got to thinking that, hey, yeah, I mean, how you get to know a person is the same as you would get to know anybody else, whether you're gay or straight or
Mm-hmm.
whatever, right? And the way that you fall in love is the same, whether you're gay, straight or what, diba? So parang you shouldn't. I mean, you shouldn't just confine yourself to just watching a BL to get
Yeah.
to know what happens in a BL relationship because
Oh,
a BL relationship is just like any other relationship. So it's not something that you have to study really, but it's more of maybe what we should be more mindful of is like how we put labels on people or how we describe people or how we interact with people of a certain sexuality or a
Yeah.
certain gender orientation. But in terms of learning how to act in a BL role or learning to act as a BL couple shouldn't be that different from any
I
other couple, right?
agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
And I
go
So
think
naturally, yeah, diba?
and I had that Max Tool vibe with them because I think that was what they did then, Max and Tool, when they were going through the
mm,
roles. They just wanted to get to
Yeah,
know each other and treat them parang they're just
yeah,
equal, they're falling for each other. So, kaya yung bonding nila is like Ian, the pang-pangs.
solid,
Diba?
solid.
yeah,
Solid din sila.
that's right.
Right. I mean, when they're in public, they're not even acting anymore. I mean, that's just them.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
That's just really how they are. I don't know, but it's so real that it must be real. I don't know. Yeah.
Oh, pero ano
So,
na lang, sige, go ahead.
yeah, ang nakakatawa lang, what you were saying about Jerome is gonna be the opposite of him on the next episode.
Oo,
Kasi, eh,
ah,
kasi
His character.
every trope na lalabas sa bibig niya would be there.
right.
So let's
Right,
see.
right. We'll
I'm
see.
looking
But
forward to the character, yeah.
I think that's something you mentioned as well. I think it was Lance or you, Miko, wherein you present. I think it was Lance. You present the BL trope first, or you
Hmm.
present the stereotype, and then later on, maybe in the episode or in the series, then you break that stereotype. So
Yeah.
he is showing us. He is going to be showing us the stereotype, like a local Filipino who is
It's
a political
necessary
Uh-uh.
son,
for
right?
this
Who might
series.
not
Yes.
be, let's say, in tune with his feelings, with his real self at the moment,
Mm.
Yeah,
right? So kailangan lang ng catalyst or kailangan lang ng charot.
exactly.
Kailangan lang ano, ng spark to be able to get him into that introspective kind of soul searching
To
for,
push
Uh-oh.
for him
this
to discover who he really is.
yeah.
I,
Yeah,
I
right.
also do hope that they add another flavor then. They throw in some
True.
Bisaya, especially it's coming from Davao.
Oh
Sana
yeah,
ganun.
Right.
I agree.
The Pangs is in the Lance. Hi, Lance.
Hi.
Hi,
Hi
Lance.
Katokayo. Kaya that's why I appreciated the love team between yung Pangs ng In
Mm.
Between because of that Davao flavor. And you know that
He
my
speaks a
Katokayo could
lot
speak that.
of
Yeah, he does.
Bisaya,
He grew up
right?
there.
Yes, absolutely. And that's
True,
where he's
true.
based. So yun, yeah, since they did say that he's from Davao, maybe he should be able to demonstrate that in one way or shape or form or another.
Mhm.
Yun. So, ang dami natin nasabi, no?
I
May mga
know.
questions, may
1
mga
hour
questions pa ba
pa.
tayo dyan?
Oh, but before siguro we end our session, or our reaction, live, if you were to like, oh, di ba nawala ako? Can you see
You're still
this?
there. Yes.
Oh, kombucha girl.
Yeah.
Oh.
So if
Oh,
you were to like,
her.
kita nyo ba? Okay. Yeah, if you
Yes,
were to
yes.
describe, if you were to react to the first episode of Ben and Jim, how would you react?
Oh,
I,
you mean by just those two pictures?
Yes, oo. Ano reaction mo?
The
oh,
one on
I
the
love
right.
this.
The one
I'm
on
on
the
the
right.
right. I'm on the right
Oo
here.
Yeah.
naman. So more
Although
like
it's not
curious and
the
excited
exact,
na.
yeah, it's not the exact reaction, but more on the right.
Talagang pinush ko si kombucha girl na yan eh, no?
Mm.
Ayan.
Paano ba?
Mm. It's hard with her face.
Super favorite ko talaga siya. Okay. Baka pwede natin, baka we can use that in the next episodes or reactions, no? Reaction lang, hindi kombucha girl. That's it.
Iba-ibang memes.
Oo!
Kombucha naman eh. Ayan.
Yes.
So, by the way, Nico,
So,
thank you very much for putting up this wall. I mean, the
yeah.
background and
Gusto
the
mo
logo.
yun?
Right?
Diba?
Yes,
Thank
medyo
you,
nag-level up
Lord.
tayo, So, yes.
Ay,
Appreciate it.
may question ako. Ayun, para makita na rin ng mga ano natin, viewers natin. So I was kind of like testing yung banner natin eh. I was kind of like parang figuring out if this is, sige, ilabas ko muna yung isang banner pa. If this will work, ito, or this.
Oh, that's
with
good
their
too.
background. That's
Nice
good too,
to.
but not with their background.
Okay, papalitan si background. Okay, baka brighter. Ito kasi, it's kind of...
It covers more of the...
That works with their background. The other one, if you have a brighter background, it would work.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cute to eh, no? This is nice.
Because
That's
it
cute
bleeds.
too.
It blends together with the wall. That's the thing. So you won't really notice it.
Okay. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Yun lang.
More of the yes.
Yes.
So yun, definitely a thumbs up.
Yeah.
Ito ba for?
Yeah, Regal, good start.
Oo naman. Yes, Regal.
Regal, yes.
Regal, sa inyo muna yung corona.
Oo. Sa inyo na.
Kasi sa Sunday, ilipat natin ngayon sa boys lockdown.
Uy! I have an idea. Yun kaya gawin natin parang sort of reaction natin, BBS. Parang, nasa kanya ba ang corona or wala? Di ba?
Pwede.
Parang ender ng reaction natin. Well, for this episode, ang corona na kay Regal Entertainment Inc.
Sige, push natin.
Okay.
Ayan. So anything else that you guys will be watching for tonight? Or are you basically done with the BLs?
Sino? Ako?
Kayo yung dalawa.
I don't know. Parang I'll just take a rest and sleep.
Tonight, I'm currently working, but I'm gonna double task with Cobra Kai.
Diba?
It's on the BL.
Yeah.
I thought we're done with it already. Hindi pa pala. Tuloy-tuloy ba?
I'm watching Cobra Kai ngayon. That's based on the Karate Kid series.
Okay.
And what I like about it is, kasi you remember the villain na bata na kalaban ni Karate Kid during that time?
Yeah. Siya na
yung blonde na...
Say?
Siya ngayon, nag-flip yung story kasi you get to see the backstory kung bakit siya naging ganun.
Interesting.
And this time,
nice.
para siya ngayon redemption arc niya. So, he's trying to bend his old ways. Pero syempre, hirap pa din kasi it was integrated to him by his teacher eh. So, I'm watching now because of that.
Cool.
Okay, cool.
See, dapat mga ganyan.
Siguro I'll be watching yung, there's a new trailer out for another series, Why Love Why. So I guess I'm gonna be watching
that, yes.
I feel strangers. Si Lance nagpakita ng trailer sa akin. Ganda.
Yeah, kasi,
I don't know. Effective naman sa akin yung pinakita nila.
The photographer na the post, yung photographer no, the one who did the poster was a good friend of mine. So sabi niya, Lance, I'm gonna watch this. Sabi niya, yes, I'll watch it for you.
Right. When we tweeted, hi Vino. When we tweeted that, nag-like yung Phil Stagers dun sa tweet natin. Or tweet natin. And I'm like, sige, invite natin. Kailan yun, Mikey? Is it tonight?
Oo nga, kailan yun?
Kanina, pinalabas 8 o'clock. Actually, sabay-sabay eh. 8 o'clock, Boys Lockdown,
Oh,
and Why Love Why, and Benex Gym. So like,
man, sige, let's
crazy.
end this broadcast first and then balik tayo after. Nood tayo ng isa.
Or you can play it now. Wala.
Oh, we'll watch it together. Kaya
Pwede
ba?
naman. Pwede ba? You want?
Okay lang.
I'm not doing anything, so...
Wait, I'm multitasking.
Pero Ben and Jim ito, mama.
Okay.
It is switch, change.
Benex Gym, etc.
Salad hours again.
Etc.
Welcome to BBS Nights.
Although na-OC ako sa YouTube natin for cataloging, baka malito
okay.
sila.
Sige, wag na. Okay.
Baka we can have it Saturday. Ang dami ng lives!
I know.
Masigasig ha.
Or we can do it tomorrow. We can start it tomorrow.
We can do it tomorrow as well, right? Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, sabay na natin.
Okay, sige.
Okay,
so,
sige.
I guess that is it. Are we gonna be showing our socials on screen? Or okay na tong running board natin?
Andiyan na siya. Siguro we can be more specific sa next natin. We can add
Yes.
our Twitter accounts or whatnot.
Yes. So everybody, if you want to follow us on our social media accounts, that's Brouhaha B Squad. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and here on YouTube. So please go ahead and give us a like, follow, subscribe, share it with your friends, and make sure to join us in the conversation. So once again, this is Mike with
Lance.
And Nico, hey.
And have a good Friday. Oh no, have a good Thursday night.
Thursday, what?
2 hours pa. 2 hours. 2 hours pa.
See you in the next one.
Ciao, ciao.
Bye.